As Kraetzer for CBSI Services Talking Business. Tonight, a summary of the excellent presentation by Bruce Biegel of the Winterberry Group to the Direct Marketing Club of New York, led by President Ginger Conlon. Bruce Biegel gives an annual address to the club summarizing changes in marketing communication spending for each of the major disciplines in direct marketing and traditional communications. But everything changed, as Bruce said, around March 12th this year with the impact of COVID-19, businesses, communication shutting down around the world, and particularly in the United States, and the impact that that's had. So he gave an update on how different verticals did and what the forecast looks like for the balance of the year. Obviously, starting with the dramatic increase in unemployment, 17%. He expects it will average 14% for the year, and this is up from 3.5% when the year started. A huge decrease in gross domestic product in second quarter of 32%, and that will start to change and improve in third and fourth quarter. Looking at some of the disciplines, display ads down 35 to 45% as they were easy to turn off. Search engine marketing down 20 to 25%. Digital video did well, increasing 5%. Email very actively used for communications, but there was pressure on pricing that he said, so it stayed even. Linear TV, traditional TV, down 25 to 35%, which represents a loss of $10 to $12 billion. Direct mail was down 40 to 45%, and that is an impact on the United States Postal Service of as much as $22 billion of revenue. And experiential marketing, things like spectator sports, Broadway theater, so many other activities, theme parks that people enjoy going to in person, down 75%. And third quarter, you expect things could be 20% better as the different aspects of the economy, different states open up, and brands start to spend once again. But he expects gross domestic product will be down 5% for the year. That's kind of a stunning number. But that it will start to increase again in first quarter. And he looked at lessons from the 2008, 2009 recessionary period after the stock market crash. And not all verticals recover at the same time. But again, this is another big push towards digital, as he has said, almost a 2-year increase in acceptance in using digital channels, different digital methods. And this is, again, a shift away from traditional methods. And again, a shift to e-commerce, while local retail struggled, although with e-commerce there was a difficulty in delivery with firms like Amazon not being able to meet the demand, and also the challenges faced by their large employee workforce. Impact on stores, 25,000 stores Bruce expects will close due to this, and this will hit malls very hard, and also the restaurants that are in malls that are kind of a key partnership. And the direct-to-consumer method of marketing, which is direct marketing, will increase. He said financial service companies held up banks. The banks stayed open. Certainly credit card business that we're in at CBSI stayed active, although travel and entertainment transactions were vastly down in second quarter. And still the shift away from cash is one of Bruce's points, going contactless. And also the change in creditworthiness, as many consumers face loss of jobs, loss of diminished hours working, and loss of income in this quarter. The auto market he described as largely turned off, car buying, as factories closed and people weren't needing to travel. But there are some new digital approaches in auto buying to decrease the amount of time that you spend in the dealership to make the purchase, or as he described, picking up leased vehicles. The auto industry also affected by long supply chains and disruptions around the world. So slow ad growth in the auto sector, always a big part of marketing, communications, advertising. Media strong, growth in streaming videos you could expect, and also video games in particular, 63% growth. I got to say, we've been following esports and the phenomenal growth of esports that were even promoted on traditional television as something for people to watch, a growing area. But people are looking forward to watching spectator sports, live sports, even if it's going to be spectator free. People will want to watch on television and on video. Healthcare pharmacies did well as pharmacies provided so many necessities. We've seen that here locally with pharmacies being considered essential and being able to provide many items that a grocery store does. Travel and hospitality down 90%, hotels down 50%. And Bruce expects that will be a slow return in third quarter. And also you have to watch from the sense of business travel. Many companies will have a no travel policy in effect for a while, and also will have a policy of not accepting visitors to their offices as we're used to traveling on business. Mobile data traffic, Bruce said, was up 380% in March as we all took to watching everything on mobile, everything on laptops, Zoom conference calls to keep doing business. 380% increase in mobile traffic in March. Point out he's been watching the jobs in analytics. In January, he said there were 280,000 jobs in analytics available on LinkedIn. By March, that had dropped to 21,000 jobs. Ad agencies, he said, particularly hit hard, 57%, very negative to disaster for that sector. Obviously, if you were supporting industries that have done that have been essential, such as healthcare, they did better. Payroll protection plan was a big boost. Bruce pointed out, really helped so many small companies and mid-sized companies. The question is, what happens when that fund runs out? There's a question about whether the government's going to do a third wave of major benefits. And Bruce pointed out what he called the wallet recession, a big hole in the income for many consumers who have lost jobs, lost hours working. And he looked at the recovery from 2008, 2009, that recession, and he pointed out that it really took 5 years to recover from that, really until 2013 to 14, before the impact really went away from that 2008 situation. And he suggested in closing that this is a good time for companies to look at themselves and what they need to do going forward. And do I need to come back the way I was as a company? And do I have the right agencies? And do I have the right technology supporting our company? So great job by Bruce Biegel, as he always does, from the Winterberry Group. Notes from the meeting, he said, would be available on the Direct Marketing Club of New York website. And again, this is an event that Ginger Conlon put together. The president does a great job with it. And we're always really pleased and privileged to be able to work with both Bruce Biegel and with Ginger Conlon to support these events. So for CBSI Services and our Talking Business interview series, talking to experts in banking, insurance, customer service, and business educators, and our whole team at CBSI in Harrison, New York. Have a good night, everybody, and stay well.